I knew I'd find you here. You always leave when you can't feel. You tell me to leave you alone, but I can't stay away. I know I should let you go, but there's something telling me no. I know I should let you be, but I keep on thinking of you and me, thinking of you and me, but I keep on thinking of you and me, thinking of you and me, but there's something.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel once again. If you are new to my channel, welcome to my channel NG Twinkle. Like I always pray that your light will shine and twinkle in your space and all over the world for your own good in Jesus' name. Amen. So today we are talking about ugu, the vegetable called ugu. This ugu is called fluted pumpkin in English, and the botanical name is Telfairia Occidentalis. So I'm going to be talking about the planting, the growth, the harvesting, the storage of this ugu from beginning, and how I cared for this plant, vegetable plant, and then stored it in the freezer for use anytime I want. So guys, just follow me and let's go. So the time I started planting this was early April. The weather was still very cold, and you can't stand outside doing anything, even as a human being, not to talk of the plants. So I had to plant this vegetable using a container, rectangle container, and some yogurt cups that can fit into the door to my backyard, because the door has blinds. So I had to put something that can just stay there and fit into that corner, that space. So I use Pro Mix Premium Organic Vegetable and Herb Mix soil for my planting. So I put the soil in the container up to the point where when I add water to it, it will not overflow into the room. These containers had holes under it, so the water I put is like measured so that it will not drain into the room. So the temperature in the room is also okay. It's not the same temperature with the outside. So the seed has the tip part and the other blunt part. So the tip part is the one I put inside the soil, and then the other blunt part is on top of the soil, and I covered it with this soil. Then I added water to it. So I read that it takes ugu 10 days to germinate, but mine took like between 14 to 16 days to germinate. Every day I come out here, guys, to watch it and see if it has germinated after 10 days actually. So but I come to check on it if the water has dried, so that I can add more water to keep the seed surviving. So after 14 to 16 days, it germinated, as you can see here, guys. Yes, it was really doing good, as some were just opening the soil, some were still inside the soil, but you can see that it was actually doing very well, while the sunlight comes from outside, to help it. So I kept on monitoring it, checking on the water, checking on the germination, and then making sure that the light is also coming in. You can see I have blinds covering this door, so the containers were placed behind the blinds, so that it's easy to be assessed. Now when the temperature goes up a little bit, we take these containers outside. You can see the sun is on. That doesn't mean that the temperature is actually comfortable for you to grow, but the temperature is not low, so it's comfortable enough for you to take them outside so that they'll take direct sun. So the direct sun helps the plant for photosynthesis, chlorophyll will work, and then the plant to make its food and still survive. So I make sure that once it is convenient enough for the person that will take it outside, we'll just take it outside and allow it to stay throughout like 6 hours, between 6 to 7 hours, depending on how long the temperature stays high. Not too high, but high enough to take care of the plant. So you can see some are just still yet to germinate, some have just germinated. You can see the seed is being pushed up. That will tell you what is going on. The ones that have germinated and the ones that are yet to germinate and all that. Then there are ones that have germinated already and the leaves are just doing good. So we kept on doing this, and before you know it, around 1 month plus, something exciting started happening. You can see this green leaf. This is called evergreen, greenish green, guys. So the leaves are just doing very, very well. I took my time to take care of this plant. Like, I monitor it all the time. I touch the soil. Once it is hard, I'll add water, and before you know it, all the seed in the container germinated. They all germinated and doing well. You can see the ugu, the strands, the small strands that the ugu use in grabbing where it wants to climb. So anything it sees, any leaf it sees by its corner, it will just grab the leaf and climb on top of it. It's so exciting, guys. You can do it. I know that you can do it. So you can plant this thing indoors and then cut the leaf as they're growing, and they will keep on germinating, guys. If you have interest in farming, not really farming, big farming, like taking care of a garden, you can do it if you have a space where you can place it so that you can receive the sun. It is the sun it is receiving from the door there that is helping this thing to grow. Look at this seed, as the leaves pushed it up, it's still hanging up there. Yes, it's still hanging up there. Wow, it's so exciting, guys, watching this thing growing inside the room. I am so happy, and whenever I come out, I try to direct it so that it will not coil itself on each other, because if it does that, if you try to loosen it, because the leaves are still tender, it can cut the tip of the ugu, and if the tip cuts off, it will be difficult for it to start germinating from somewhere, because they are still very, very tender, very, very young at the seedling stage. So I tried my best to see that all of it, there is no fungal growing on the seed, growing on the leaf or on the stalk of the leaf, that everything is neat, making sure that the sun it is receiving is also enough, and if the temperature of the room is not good, I try to adjust the room temperature, to make sure that this plant is doing very, very well. So, and I am actually looking forward when the temperature will get high outside, so that I can take them outside. They're not meant to stay here for a very long time, except I want to grow them indoors. But this plant needs direct sun, direct heat, so that it can do very, very well. Yes. So this is how interesting and exciting the leaves are looking. You can see these leaves are so healthy, guys. So after some time, this temperature started increasing, the outside temperature started increasing, and I had to take these plants outside. I had to replant it. I had to till the ground, mix it with soil. Ugu does very well with NPK, nitrogen, potassium, and phosphate. So I mix the soil with organic manure and put them there, and then transferred it from that container to the soil, and then started watering it. But I also had to cut out the leaves, the one that grew indoors. I cut them out. These are the ones you're seeing here right now. I cut them out for use, and then kept on taking care of where I transplanted it so that it started growing. Before you know it, guys, these leaves now got adjusted to the ground and grew the way you see. It is so green. It doesn't have any infection. There was no bug disturbing it, and the tree there is a flower that grew and became a tree. That's why I had to plant it close by, and then I water it every 2 to 3 days gap. Under it, I had to prune the leaves that are under so that there will be space, so where I can now put the water, so that it will just keep growing. Guys, look at this ugu. It has tips, healthy mouths. This is called onogo. For Igbo people that call this thing ugu, you know the tip. If you use the tip to cook food, you will get the taste of this ugu in your soup. It's so healthy, guys. Can you look at what is going on here? This is so healthy. I'm so excited the way the thing just boom, climbed on top of this tree. Yeah, so one time when I wanted to cook my okra soup, so I went to the garden and then had to get this bunch that I have here with me that I wanted to use to cook that soup. I don't really go there to harvest it because I wanted the ugu to maybe bear fruit, but it didn't anyways, but that's okay. So I got this bunch from there. You can see how green and healthy the ugu is, and I used it. I didn't want to use spinach to cook, or maybe kale leaf. Those are the leaves I use in cooking my soup, either spinach or kale leaf. Both of them are also good, but I just felt like eating my local vegetable, the ugu. That's why I tried what I can do, to see if I can plant and let it go, so that I can go there and take it at any time I want to cook anything that I need. I also use it for smoothie. I also go there to take it for smoothie, so I don't really take much. After many months, guys, the temperature dropped to 5 degrees, and this wasn't good for the ugu. And I know that it is harvest time, guys, harvest time. The dropped temperature affected all the vegetables I planted outside, not just the ugu. The tip of the ugu, not because it is tender, it looks frozen. It just happened one night, and I need to go harvest.
Like I said, guys, the weather has really changed. It's actually getting colder, so I'm gonna harvest all the ugu here and then package it to freeze it for the winter. I've already harvested the garden egg, the mbobofe, and the anga. I'll show you the spot. This is the spot where it used to be before. This is the spot, guys. But everything here is done. One is remaining this. You can see what the weather did. It's just remaining this bitter leaf. So I'm gonna finish this ugu right now.
So this is the much I harvested, and there are still a lots more on the tree and on the stakes I used, in helping the ugu to climb the tree. I first dragged this one from that tree, and it was like cutting the leaves. So I went in to get that knife, the small knife, so I can cut it. There are still a lot on top of the tree to be harvested. Yeah, it's you have to use like how do you call it? You have to use it's an act, you know, cutting and dragging to make it easy for you. Because if you drag it, all the leaves will be on the floor. So if you cut and it will you uncoil from the stake, then you know you can now take it and then drop. That was exactly what I was doing, so that I can bring out everything I have in that corner. Such huge harvest. I am so excited when I remember the beginning and now to. Remember, this thing climbed so high on top of this flower tree, so I'm going to climb here to drag some of it down. A drastic drop from 15 degrees to 5 degrees in the night while we were sleeping. I woke up in the morning to check these things and I saw what happened, and I said, now it is time to harvest these things. I had to start with the other ones before I got to this ugu vegetable, but it's okay. So guys, while I climb and harvest this ugu from the flower tree, let's talk about the benefits of ugu leaf and ugu seed maybe. So the ugu leaf is very nutritious, guys. It's people that are anemic use ugu leaf. I am going to read from Healthline. People that wrote an article regarding this ugu in 2020. Yes. So ugu is being called fluted pumpkin. It is as an English name. Botanical name is Telfairia Occidentalis, but it's called ugu by the Igbo people, eastern part of Nigeria, West Africa. So they call it ugu. We enjoy this leaf very well. Every food we cook, especially soups, we use this ugu as our vegetable. That is if you don't want to use the other leaves. We have other leaves like onugbo, we have like ora, and many other leaves. But this particular ugu is commonly used in cooking soups in that part of the world, guys. So it is not just prepared with soup. You can use it to cook yam porridge. You can use it to make vegetable sauce for eating rice. You can use it for anything, guys. But let's talk about what I read from the Healthline. He said ugu is not only edible when prepared as a vegetable. There are other uses that are beneficial to the body. The ugu is also called fluted pumpkin and scientifically known as Telfairia occidentalis. This vegetable is one of the nice vegetables that happen to be very low in calorie, supplying just 26 calorie per 100 gram, and it is free of saturated fat and cholesterol. Research shows that when the essential ingredients are very much intact, it has the capacity to increase the red blood cells within a short period of time after consumption. If you want to speed up the increase in the red corpuscles, it is indeed a natural method to regain blood quickly. What is more interesting about this vegetable is that, aside its ability to grow almost everywhere, it is a very rich source of fiber, minerals, vitamins A, vitamin B6, vitamin C, and protein, riboflavin, niacin, thiamine, folate, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, manganese. So again, this ugu leaf has antioxidant and antimicrobial properties, guys. So the ugu can be cooked a little bit and blended. Some also blend it raw and mixed with milk to drink. You can just use it to do smoothie. You can like light cook it, not cooking it very well, blend it and drink. So this leaf is actually very, very nutritious. It is good if you want to plant it by yourself, so that you can always be able to get it at reach whenever you want it, guys. It has riboflavin and it has thiamine. These two are vitamins also. It also has nicotinamide and ascorbic acid. So it means that this ugu leaf is very, very rich. Like, I know from my parts of the world, my village, that people are being given this ugu to drink whenever they are anemic. When you're tired, they'll get the ugu, squeeze the water out, and then give it to anemic people to drink. Yes. So that's the benefit of this ugu leaf. It's very, very rich, guys. So if you enjoy this education, please, guys, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell button, like, comment and share my videos, guys. So this is for the ugu leaf. Let's talk about the seed. Remember that you plant this ugu leaf from the seed. So guys, the seed of this ugu leaf is also highly nutritious. Yes, yeah, it's highly nutritious. The seed can be used when it is dried. So it can be used as what we call ogili in our place. Like when it is fermented, it can be used in cooking soup. If it is dried, it can be grounded to powder and be used as a ogili, So the seed can also be boiled. If you want to eat it fresh, you have to boil it very, very well, so that it is well done before you eat it. You can also roast the seed of this ugu. You can like roast it with fire and get the body, like crispy kind of, before you eat it. So the ugu leaf and the ugu seed, both of them are highly nutritious. Yes, you can enjoy it any way you want it. If your people eat it, you can find out from your people, from the grandmas and the grandpas, how nutritious this thing is and how you can use it or eat it. Before you do anything, you have to get information about it before you use it. But this leaf is highly and is very, very popular in West Africa, Nigeria. So most people use it. If you go to the market, you will see it everywhere. If you go to the market, you will see it everywhere. So this is the much I can give on this leaf that I love so much, that made me to go plant it. So guys, you too can do the same. If you have a garden in Obodo Yibo or at home or around you, if you have a corner where you can plant, you can also use container to plant it. The only thing is that you have to be watering it, you have to be adding manure to it, and then cut it as it is growing, so that it can give you what you actually want. It's not gonna be the same thing as putting it in the ground, but it's still something. You can get something out of it, guys, so long as it has rich manure that has the NPK nutrients that I talked about. So guys, that's it for the ugu leaf and the ugu seed. Thank you, guys. Please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell button, like and comment if you enjoy if you enjoy what you are seeing. You can see the way I am thoroughly harvesting this ugu. I am doing a good job here to make sure that nothing is left, even the leaves that fall to the ground. As I'm dragging it from this leaf, I pick everything. So there are other names that this Telfairia Occidentalis also have. So in Yoruba language, it is called Abiroko. It is called Obong in Efik in Nigeria. It is called Umbe in Urobo language and Umeke in Edo language. It is called fluted pumpkin in English. It is called fluted gourd. It is called akwukwo wiri in Ikwere language. It is called Ikong Obong in Efik, like I said before, and Ibibio languages. It is called Akwukwo in Eche language. So this ugu has several names that other people in Nigeria, other tribes in Nigeria call it. So, and this ugu is also a perennial plant. What is a perennial plant? A perennial plant is plant that lasts for a very long time. Annual plant is a plant that you plant this year, and when the weather is not conducive anymore, you will not see the plant again. But when it is perennial, it means that if you plant it, it can spring up again from the ground where you planted it when the weather is conducive. So this my ugu plant, I don't really know if it is gonna be the perennial plant that it is known to be here in the Obodo Ibo where I live. So I harvested it and left the stump in the ground. I covered it with some things. I'm actually, because the weather is not good anymore, I'm actually waiting for maybe end of the month, end of this November. I am going to go cover it with maybe nylon or containers. The containers I use in planting, I'm going to use it to cover it, and then use nylon to cover it also to prevent direct contact with snow. Though that when the snow falls, the water that melts will be very, very cold into the ground. I don't really know if it will kill this ugu or not. I will show you guys by the next planting season to see if it will die or not. So the perennial plant it is called, I will find out if it is gonna work for me or not, because winter really kills so many plants. So that is it. I'm gonna check, I'm gonna monitor, I'll take care of that spot where I planted it to see if anything new or if anything good will come out of that place. Yes, so the much I could, I will actually do for the ugu in order to pet it and see if it will spring up again by next year's planting. So guys, I know that you really enjoyed this harvesting of the ugu. I was picking everything, dragging everything. But if you look at the tree there, that leaf, you can see that it is free. It's actually free from the ugu. The ones that crawled on the ground, I am also dragging them and bringing them out like cutting it out and bringing it to this pot where I packed the main ugu that I gathered. I am so happy, guys. It is not easy to do this. I am so happy. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it and try it out to see if it will survive or not. I tried it and it survived, and I watered it and made sure that it is growing the way it's supposed to grow, health-wise, so that I can enjoy it the way I wanted. I know that this can encourage some people to try it out, especially my subscriber that sent me a text and was talking about how happy she is seeing what I am doing in my garden. You can do this thing, dear subscriber. You can use buckets. You can also plant and then monitor it, especially if you are a stay-home mom, or even if you are working and you come back from work. You can check out what you are doing. If you leave it for some other person to do it for you, for sure your vegetables will die, because they are the one that knows what you want to do and how you will do it. That's how and why it will survive, why you are taking care of it. So that's the much I want to give also concerning this harvesting. Am I happy? I am really happy. I am glad I am doing what I need to do. And I hope you are happy watching this video. Thank you so much, guys, for following me through the harvesting of my ugu, and following the story of how I started it. I also didn't remember to tell you that whenever I go outside to see them, the ugu, I help it to climb, because some of it will go into my neighbor's compound. So I want to make sure that I'm not bothering anybody. So I will hold the trail, that thing using trailing. I will uncoil it anywhere it coiled itself that is not going towards where I channeled it to, that is this tree. I will just help it and to climb directly where I want it to climb to, so that it will not be a nuisance to some other person. I make sure that I am directly the way it's supposed to go, so that it will yield its the seed. No, it will yield, the leaves will be healthy, to not be on the ground where water is touching, and then it will help it to carry bacteria. So I make sure that it is just climbing. I go there every other 4 days, 3 days, and go to check what is going on. If it is not going directly where it's supposed to go to, I redirect it. So that is how I was able to get this fresh, huge vegetable. It didn't really die until this winter. This temperature dropped 5 degrees. So the the mouth of the ugu was affected actually, because in other places very young and fresh. So the cold weather affected it as though it was kept in the freezer. So that made me to harvest everything. When I took it inside to the basement, I took it where it's supposed to be before I picked it from this from the body and arranged it for washing. The whole place was just smelling fresh, very fresh vegetable, So I picked it one after the other and arranged it for washing. Yeah.
You always leave when you can't feel. You tell me I'll leave you alone, but I can't stay
I thank the God of harvest. It is not by my power, not by my might. It's only by him that showeth mercy. Yes, I thank the God of harvest very good for me. I planted and he watered my effort. He said he's going to bless the work of my hands, and he did so. So guys, yeah, I'm done with harvesting. You can see my garden is free right now. This flower is sweet now. So guys, thank you for watching. I'm gonna show you again the way I will arrange it, wash it, cut it, and use the plug bag to pack it. I'll show you those ones later. For now, please like my video, subscribe to my channel. You can see, did you see that climbing my visitors? Comment, like, and share my videos. I am a stay-home mom for now, doing the things I love to do. I like planting flowers, I like planting vegetables, I like keeping my garden green. Like I said, my backyard is my garden of Eden. Yes, I take care of it the much I can actually, to make sure that it is giving me the vibe I like. I water it myself. I do everything in this backyard to make sure that it is neat. It's bringing fruit from the ground. Yes guys, thank you. See you.
Look at the ugu right now. I made sure to pick every good one out of the bunch. The ugu looks like it lost weight. Yes, it did, because it stayed 1 day plus before I came back to attend to it. Yes, so, and I got these 4 trays and got them ready to be washed in the sink. So here is the sink and the ugu. 2 trays entered here. I made sure to wash it neatly. I did wash them 3 good times and remove the water and add fresh one, and then another fresh one, to make sure that every dirt, every dust that is on the body of the leaf goes away for health purposes, guys. So when I did that, I allowed the ugu to drain water and be ready for cutting. So guys, can you see what is going on here? Cut ugu vegetables. I have almost done the cutting. In fact, the piece I am holding in my hand is just the last one. I made sure that this ugu was at least 95% air dried, because I didn't want to cut it while it is still wet. So I had to let it dry very well before I cut. I am so excited. You can see what I got, about 3 trays. When I remember all the effort I put in and what is happening now, I feel good about myself, and I know you too can do it. If you really want to do it, you can do it, and I'm encouraging anyone that wants to plant vegetable around her to go ahead and do so. So after I finished cutting, guys, I had to pack them in these 7 Ziploc bags that you are seeing right here. I packed it, I stuffed it in and then what did I do again? I labeled it so that it's easy for me to get at it if I get to the freezer, because I have other vegetables that are in Ziploc bag. So after doing this labeling and packing, I sent this vegetable away to the freezer. Guys, yes, I sent them away to the freezer to go and rest until the time I want to use it to cook or to do smoothie. I enjoy smoothie actually, so I can do smoothie with this vegetable and any fruit I want. I mean green smoothie. This vegetable, like I said before, is very healthy and has a lot of vitamins in it. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and share my videos. See you next time, guys. Bye.